Okay, so the live is already done. This is the after live recording, but breaking news per Ben Gosling, the Vikings are hiring Ed Donatel as their next defensive coordinator, according to a league source. So this is breaking news. So this might not actually be true. It might be a little rumor that you never know. You never really know. But so just an hour ago, literally 1 hour ago, as I'm recording this right now, Andre Patterson has left the Vikings organization to go be the defensive line coach with the New York Giants. Andre Patterson, we love you. By the way, I mean, every Vikings fan, if you are a Vikings fan, you love Andre Patterson for what he's done for this organization. But like I said, many times on the live today and many times, it is time for a new era of Vikings football. I love Andre Patterson, but by no means was he a good defensive coordinator for the Vikings. I mean, he might have been my favorite coach for Vikings in history, but as a defensive coordinator, the last 2 seasons for the Vikings was arguably the worst back-to-back defensive seasons for the Vikings in about 20 years. So now we are bringing in Ed Donatel, now very fit for the position, by the way. Ed Donatel, the Vikings, as of yesterday, emerged as the Vikings' #1 favorite to be the defensive coordinator for the Vikings in 2022 and beyond. So I'm a little shocked here that this came now after we haven't officially brought in our head coach yet. I mean, he still can walk away from this deal. So I'm a little shocked they already decided on their defensive coordinator. But you know what? I'm totally fine with it because the hiring feels right. This feels like a right fit. Now, Ed Donatil, well respected. He's been around the league for a long time now. I don't have it up. Like, this is breaking news. I don't have it up with me right now, but he's been a defense coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, previously for the Denver Broncos this last season, and then was released after the season after they're also going through a head coaching change where they left Vic Fangio and now got rid of Ed Donatel, and then Nathaniel Hackett is bringing in all of his guys. So after that, we also he was also defensive coordinator for the Packers, Broncos, Falcons. I believe those are the 3 teams. There might be another one in the mix, but those are the 3 teams that I know that he was a defensive coordinator for in the past. He's been coaching for something like 31 years. I mean, it's the right fit because as our Vikings is going through a massive change right now where we see complete difference on defense as everybody on the defensive side of the ball is going to be young next year, assuming that we stick with our current roster, assuming the Vikings don't bring back Anthony Barr and Patrick Peterson and Mackenzie Alexander, assuming all these players are gone. I mean, you look at the Vikings defense, maybe even Nick Vigil's gone. I mean, you look at the Vikings defense and everybody is going to be gone who is old. We might get rid of Michael Pierce, I believe, as of right now. It's almost certain we're going to get rid of Michael Pierce. I believe Harrison Smith might be traded. You really have no clue, which is why I love this Vikings offseason. And this is probably the most interesting Vikings offseason in decades because we have no clue what to expect, not only in our organization, but how about the NFC North as a whole, who are all going through massive change. I mean, the Bears just got rid of their GM and head coach and now are looking to change in their coaching staff. You got obviously what's happening with the Vikings. We don't even know where Kirk Cousins is going to be playing next year. We have no clue how the Green Bay Packers are going to handle their 40-some million dollars over the cap. Like, it is such a the NFC North is in this weird situation that I really never expected going into this offseason, and I'm all in for it. I am all in for this new era of Vikings football because whether you are for Andre Patterson being our defensive coordinator or not, well, now it's not happening, or for Ben or Ed Donatel being our defensive coordinator, whether you are for this or not, we can all agree that the right decision for the Vikings is to be looking to the future, that the right decision for the Vikings is to be bringing in these new guys and a whole new coaching staff. Now, I mentioned on today's broadcast, I said, there's one thing that I love that we're doing right now is as we bring in Kwesi, as we bring in Kevin O'Connell, we are completely revamping this organization. We are reloading on the front office. Our entire front office is gone. And I've heard scenarios, I've heard times where GMs go to the extent of firing janitors. Now, at that point, it's more of like just exposing, just showing that you're in charge. At that point, it's more of just abusing your power. If you're firing janitors, I mean, they don't really impact what happens on the field. But what you're doing in that situation is looking to the future. What you're doing is changing the entire situation because we can't make the same mistake we've been making over and over and over. And Andre Patterson showed, I mean, I love the guy. I respect him so much. But what he showed, there is a big difference between coaching and developing defensive linemen and actually running an entire defense. I hate to see Andre Patterson go. I wanted him to be our defensive line coach. And I'm sure just about every Vikings fan can agree with me there. We wanted him to stay with the organization. But what's good to know is that we are looking to the future. What's good to know is that we do have new people coming in and going to coach this team. Now, quickly, appreciation for Andre Patterson, who coached with this defense for 10 years. 8 years under the Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer era, and then 2 years both with the 1998 Vikings, best team in NFL history to not make a Super Bowl, and then also the 1999 Vikings. Through that time, we have seen so many Hall of Famers and All-Pros be under Andre Patterson and who they are today because of him. Chris Dolman, R.I.P. Chris Dolman, Hall of Famer. John Randall, one of the most loved Vikings, Hall of Famer. And that's a lot of that is due to Andre Patterson. We have to give him credit there. But who was really to credit Andre Patterson for was Everson Griffin, Danielle Hunter. Those are two people Andre Patterson just took out of nowhere. Everson Griffin being a 5th-round draft pick. Now, yes, he wasn't drafted by Andre Patterson, but Patterson developed him into a superstar. Same goes for Danielle Hunter coming out of the 3rd round. Oh, what about Linval Joseph, my favorite Viking of all time, who was brought into this organization in free agency, and Andre Patterson just turned him into the best nose tackle in the league for 2 back-to-back seasons. Love Andre Patterson. Huge fan of him. Big fan. What I'm also a fan of is us looking to the future and going for this full-on kind of, it's not a full-on rebuild, it's more of just a change in the front office, because I'm so happy the Will family realized that they were the problem, that them being 2 years too late to move on from Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer was the problem that held the Vikings back. And I'm glad that they finally realized it and didn't put their emotions before what actually is best for the team. And this is what's best for the team. Breaking news, Ed Donatel will be the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator in 2022, and hopefully longer than just 1 season, as he's been bouncing around the league for quite some time now, but is a right signing. 30-some years of coaching, is definitely fit for the position. Congratulations. So excited for this new era of Vikings football. Skol, skol, baby.